All right, today we're comparing two chronographs with three subdials with the $260 Swatch and Omega MoonSwatch and the Casio Edifice EFB700 that you can find for a little bit over $100 depending on the color of the second hand and the dial. Please do like and subscribe so we can grow the channel so I can do more of these reviews. In today's world, no one actually needs a chronograph, aka stopwatch. Your cell phone and the most basic watch like this F91W has a much more accurate stopwatch to 1/100th of a second if that's what you're looking for. And unlike the mechanical chronographs that cost in the thousands, these two are both quartz. So they're much cheaper, but also more accurate in terms of timekeeping. The Omega and Swatch collaboration MoonSwatch is a very fun and lightweight watch. You can see the Omega logo and the Swatch logo. I swapped the two sides of the strap, but you can also see the Speedmaster logo as well. And you can see the Speedmaster logo here and the MoonSwatch logo here and the Omega Swatch. So lots of logos, and part of it, that's kind of what you're paying for. This watch is made out of plastic, and you saw the Velcro strap, and this crystal is acrylic, aka plastic. It is modeled after the Omega Speedmaster that went into space and eventually landed on the moon with the American Space Program. And Omega Speedmaster real one costs about $5,000 or up to $50,000. So this is a relatively speaking very affordable, what someone may call a tribute watch. So let's take a look at the actual functions and how the chronograph actually works. Chronograph is just a fancy word for stopwatch. The upper right dial here indicates 1/10 of a second. The larger, once I start the chronograph, this larger hand indicates the second. So you got 1/10 of a second. It doesn't move until you stop it. And then it'll indicate, and then this indicates the seconds. The bottom subdial actually indicates the seconds of the actual time. That's not the stopwatch time, but the actual timekeeping time. And then here you have the minutes of minutes that has elapsed. So if we stop it, what you're gonna see is, so it's been 31 seconds and with 3/10 of a second. So that's what it looks like. And then when you reset it, they all kind of do this little dance to go back to their original starting positions. It's a light and fun watch with many colors to choose from. This is the mission to Earth, so it's this mint green. Lots of different other colors, and some of them has smaller logo changes and things like that as well. So it's definitely a fun watch. And if it wasn't an Omega collab tribute watch, I doubt the hype would have been as intense, and especially at this price point. You can actually buy a Swatch, just a regular Swatch with a chronograph function, for about half the price, maybe about $130 they haven't last them. And at this price range, over $200, they would be made out of metal. So the premium here you're paying for is definitely the association with Omega, and then also the look and feel of the Speedmaster. Now, at less than half the price is this Casio Edifice EFB700. This is a stainless steel watch with a bit of heft and feels very, very solid in the hand. The watch is less than half the price of the MoonSwatch and about a little bit over $100 depending on, the deal you can find. And it also has a sapphire crystal, and in addition it has this date function at the 4 o'clock position. This watch definitely looks and feels much, much more than the $100 price point. The chronograph here works a little bit more differently. The layout is different. The big second hand here will always keep the current time. The top subdial here does the same thing. It says right there 1/10 of a second, and we'll start it. And unlike the Swatch, it actually keeps running while the stopwatch is active. It does stop after a minute, and this whole seconds is indicated by the bottom dial here, and how many minutes has elapsed is indicated by this left subdial. And so if you do run it for a minute, the second hand will go to 60, and then once it goes past 60, this 1/10 of a second hand will stop and do what the MoonSwatch does as well, to just conserve battery power. And let's stop it. So you can see it's been 41 seconds, and what is that, 1/67 of a second, and then well, definitely it's a little bit over, or a little bit under a minute, so that hasn't really, the minute indicator hasn't really moved. So so let's reset it. If you reset it, you can see it all. It does this kind of fun dance all the way back. Now let's take a look at both of these side by side. You can see they're about the same size. They're not that different, sort of lug to lug. The Casio is slightly bigger. And then you can see the side. And the back. So the Casio definitely says what it's all got. It's got sapphire crystal, stainless steel, water resistant, 10 bars. The movement is made in Japan. It's cased in China. Whereas the MoonSwatch says mission, enjoy the mission, dream big. And it is Swiss made. Doesn't tell you how many bars, water resistant. All right, so either of these watches would be a great first quartz chronograph to own, depending on what you're looking for and where your budget is. I have an affiliate link below for the Casio and the MoonWatch. Any earnings from those links will support the channel, so I can actually buy more of these watches to be reviewed and shared on this channel. So thank you for watching.